The night began with a lie so small it felt harmless, the kind of lie that slips into your pocket like loose change and only later punches a hole through your ribs. I remember standing under a flickering cafe sign, rain clinging to my jacket, checking my phone for the third time, already irritated, already tired, already wishing I'd stayed home. I didn't know then that this evening would pry open old wounds that weren't mine, test loyalties I thought were unbreakable, and quietly place a choice in my hands that would change the direction of my life. Before the story unfolds any further, pause for a moment. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, in the idea that life sometimes reroutes us through discomfort to lead us somewhere honest and healing, please take a second to like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel The Kindness Chronicles. Your support keeps stories like this alive. I had agreed to the blind date because my best friend insisted I needed one. She had said it casually, with the confidence of someone who believes they know your loneliness better than you do. I trusted her because trust had always been our language. We had grown up side by side, survived heartbreaks together, shared secrets that never saw daylight. So when she promised a nice person, low pressure, nothing complicated, I said yes without imagining that complicated was already waiting for me inside, seated at a small table near the window. When I walked in and saw her face, recognition hit like a delayed echo. It took a second to place it, another second for my stomach to sink, and another for anger to bloom hot and sharp behind my eyes. She was my best friend's ex, the one whose name had become a forbidden word, the one whose absence had left my friend hollow for months. I stood there too long, frozen between leaving and staying, while she looked up with the same startled realization, her expression tightening with something that looked like fear mixed with relief. The lie became clear in that moment. I had been tricked. Not maliciously, maybe, but deliberately. And yet, as much as I wanted to turn around, something heavier kept my feet rooted. Maybe it was politeness, or curiosity, or the simple human instinct to see things through when they've already begun. I sat down, heart hammering, aware that I was crossing an invisible line I had sworn I would never touch. The evening moved forward in a strange, suspended way. Time felt elastic, stretching and snapping back. We talked carefully, circling safe topics, avoiding names and memories like landmines. I learned things I hadn't known about her, fragments that had never reached me through my friend's version of the breakup. I saw the exhaustion in her eyes, the guarded way she chose her words, the quiet humor that surfaced unexpectedly. Against my will, I felt my anger soften into confusion. The real challenge wasn't the date itself. It was the loyalty war raging inside me. Every laugh felt like a betrayal. Every shared silence felt like stepping further into forbidden territory. I kept imagining my best friend's face if she knew where I was, who I was with, how easily the world had blurred lines I thought were permanent. I told myself this was a one-time mistake, a story I would bury and never revisit. But life rarely listens to our internal rules. Over the next weeks, circumstances kept nudging us together, a mutual project, overlapping social spaces, messages that began with logistics and ended with long pauses before replies. Each interaction reopened the same questions. Was I allowed to feel this pull? Was she allowed to move on? Was my best friend really as healed as she claimed? And most painfully, why had my friend orchestrated this in the first place? When I finally confronted her, the truth came out in broken pieces. She admitted she had set us up intentionally, believing that two people she cared about deserved happiness, even if it came from an unlikely place. She said she was stronger now, that she wanted closure, that she trusted me. Her words were steady, but her eyes told a different story. I realized then that people can mean well and still cause harm, that love and selfishness often wear the same mask. The relationship that followed was slow and cautious, built more on honesty than romance at first. We spoke about the past without glorifying it, acknowledging the damage, respecting the scars. There were days when guilt outweighed joy, when I questioned my own character, when walking away felt like the only ethical choice. There were also moments of quiet connection that felt undeniably real, moments that whispered that maybe this was not a mistake but a difficult beginning. What changed everything wasn't a grand gesture or dramatic turning point. It was an ordinary afternoon when I watched her help a stranger without expecting thanks, when I saw kindness as instinct rather than performance. In that small act, something settled in me. I understood that people are more than the worst chapters of their stories, that growth often happens offstage, unseen. Still, the fear of hurting my best friend never left. I checked in constantly, sometimes too much, sometimes not enough. Healing didn't follow a straight line. There were setbacks, tears, uncomfortable truths spoken late at night. But there was also progress, the slow rebuilding of trust, the recognition that love doesn't always subtract, that sometimes it expands to make room for forgiveness. Months later, sitting across from the woman I had once planned to avoid forever, I felt a calm certainty I hadn't known before. She asked if I wanted to keep dating, not with pressure, but with openness, leaving the decision fully in my hands. In that moment, I realized the question wasn't really about her. It was about who I wanted to be. Someone ruled by fear and obligation, or someone brave enough to choose honesty and compassion even when the path was messy. I said yes, not because it was easy, but because it was sincere. Today, our story isn't perfect, and I don't pretend it is. It's layered, complicated, still healing in places. My friendship survived, reshaped but intact. The lie that started everything became a truth we all had to face. And through it, I learned that kindness isn't about avoiding pain at all costs. Sometimes it's about walking through discomfort with integrity, giving people the chance to be more than their past. If this story has stirred something in you, if it reminded you of your own complicated choices, quiet sacrifices, or unexpected second chances, please take a moment to like the video, comment from your heart, and share it with someone who might need reassurance that life can still surprise us gently. Subscribe to the Kindness Chronicles for more stories that honor humanity in all its flawed beauty, and before you go, leave a comment telling us what this story meant to you or which moment touched you most.